So my name is Deepak and welcome to the Yoga Festival. And this is your Hatha Yoga class. And let's start with sitting cross-legged. So just cross your legs and see if you can sit on something higher, so your spine is straight. Okay, you place your palms on your knees. Keep your spine straight. Roll the shoulders back and down. Now gently bring your palms together in front of your chest and close your eyes. Few deep exhalation just to relax your body and the mind. Now let's chant 3 rounds of Om together. So you're gonna breathe in through your nostril. Breathe in. As you breathe out, bow down to the divinity just seated within you. Release both your palms down on your knees and humbly raise your head up and slowly open your eyes, looking down on the floor in front of you, and then gently open your eyes. All right, I still cannot see, but I hope you are following me. And you can respond me if you don't understand anything in between. You can respond to me. Okay. So we're gonna start this Hatha Yoga practice with a few joint movements to mobilize your joints. Okay, so let's lie on your back. I'm turning my head towards you so you can see my legs. Gently lying on your back, and you're gonna keep your feet about hip width distance apart and relax your arms out to the side in line with your shoulders. Just stay there and relax your entire body on the floor behind you. Now from here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna raise your right leg up to 90-degree angle and stay there. From here, you can see my thigh. You're gonna roll your right thigh in, and from there, you're gonna start externally rotating your right thigh and take your right leg down to the right side without touching the floor. So see if you can keep your hips on the floor so you don't tilt your hips as you take your right leg to the right side. And from there, you're gonna start making semicircle by internally rotating your right leg towards the front, and from there all the way up. Okay, let's repeat it once more. So you are internally rotating your right leg as your right leg is in 90-degree angle. From there, you start externally rotating your right leg, taking your right leg down to the right side without tilting your hips. See if you can stabilize your hip and then make a semicircle with your right leg all the way to the front and then all the way up. Okay, so we're going to repeat this 3 more times. So internal rotation, exhale down to the right side without tilting your hips, and then start internally rotating your right thigh and all the way up to the ceiling. That's once more. Internal rotation, external rotation to the right side, all the way to the front without touching the floor, and then all the way up. One more last. Start towards the right side by externally rotating your thigh, then slowly internal rotation of your leg, and then slowly all the way up. Bend the right knee, place your right feet on the floor, and then relax your right leg down. Now we're gonna switch. We're gonna do this to the left side five times. Okay, and do it very slow. Don't do it fast. Do it slow and observe how your leg is responding into your hip joint. So raise your left leg up, internal rotation of your left leg from the externally rotate. Take your left leg to the left side and slowly make a semicircle. You start internally rotating your thigh as you take your leg to the front and then all the way up. That's one cycle. Now, four more. External, slowly. Do it very slow, gently, and observe how your thigh bone is responding or grinding into your hip socket all the way up. Slowly to the third round, third cycle. Slow and gentle, all the way up. Keep breathing through your nostril with slow, internal, and all the way up. Once more. Internal rotation of your right thigh, then external rotation down to the floor, to the front, and all the way up. Bend the knee and place your left leg on the floor. Stay there for a while. Observe your hips, how your hips are feeling now after all those rotations. Okay, now we're gonna repeat that once again. This time we're gonna make a big circle. Okay, so you can, I hope you are following me. Relax your arms out to the side, raise the right leg up, internal rotation of your right thigh. Breathe in as you breathe out. Take your right leg to the right side without tilting your hips too much, and then all the way to the front. Now, from there, you're going to take your right leg to the left side. Now, this time, your hip and your spine will follow your leg. That's absolutely fine, but try to keep your right shoulder down. Then slowly up and exhale to the right side. Make a big circle with your right leg. Internal rotation as you go towards the left side, all the way up to the third cycle, slowly and gently. Stabilize your shoulders and allow your hips to follow your leg. Fourth cycle, gently and slowly. See if you can keep that internal rotation or observe that internal rotation of your thigh and the external rotation. Last one. Slowly and all the way up. Bend the knee and place your right leg down. Just relax a bit. Observe the heat in your right side of your hip joint. And feel that. All right, we're gonna switch the side now. Straighten your legs. Keep the right leg down and raise the left leg up. Internal rotation of your left thigh for now. Then you start externally rotating your thigh, taking your left leg to the left side without tilting your hips for now. Now, when you go from the left all the way to the right, your hips will start moving along with your leg, which is fine, and then come all the way up. And then second cycle, slowly. External rotation. Then you start internally rotating your right thigh, taking your left thigh to the right side, all the way up to the left, slowly, gently observe the movement of your leg, your hips, and your spine. Keeping your shoulders down, but slowly and gently. And the last one, slowly. You can take a rest if you need to. Don't have to follow me if you cannot. Slowly. And then that's it. Place your left leg down and relax. Observe your hips. You can feel your hips more now after all those rotation. Okay, now what you're gonna do is bend your knees, keeping your feet on the floor, and you can peek and look from the side that your feet are about hip width distance apart or slightly wider than the hips. That's fine. Turn your toes in and heels out slightly. Then relax your arms out to the side. Okay, now we're gonna do that wind type of windshield wiper, releasing your hip joint side to side. Okay, so from center, what we gonna do is we're gonna move our knees, breathe in. As you breathe out towards the right side. So your right thigh is externally rotating for now, and roll the left thigh in. Then see how far you can go. You don't have to push so hard, just gently. And your left hip will come up, which is fine. Back to the center. Inhale. As you exhale, gently to the left side and observe how your hips, your spine is responding the movement of your knees. There. And you try to keep your shoulders down. Breathe in to the center. Breathe out to the right side. Gently. Very gentle. And observe how your hips, your spine is following your knees, segment to segment, to the center and to the right side, to the center, sail to the left. Breathe in to the center. Now this time, as your knees moves, allow your spine to move along with your knees and see if you can take your left arm behind and just roll to the side that this much. Breathe in, back to the center. As you breathe out from the knees, your hips follow, then your spine follow, and then in the end, all the way back to the center and to the side. Gently. Center and to the left side, you roll. Place your palm underneath your right chest, push and slowly come. Okay. Everything is okay? Okay, I still cannot see you, so yeah, I hope you are there and practicing or following me. Okay, let's straighten your legs and keep your legs about your mat with distance apart. Let's say for now, we'll adjust that later. Place your palms behind you, not too far, but close to your hips. Bend the knees and place your feet on the floor. Okay. Now from there, what you need to do is you're gonna, as you did in lying down, you're gonna drop your knees to the right side. So it's like your legs are like 90-90. You're making 90-90 there. Okay. Breathe in, back to the center, from the knees to the hips, you go there. Back to the center and to the right side. To the center and to the left. Now from here, see if you can keep your arms free. If you can, or you can clasp your palms to the front and then do that movement. Right and to the left. Okay, right. So your legs are making 90-90. Now from here, you're gonna turn your chest towards your right thigh and you're gonna lean slightly forward there. See if you can keep your arms free. And now you can feel your right hip is opening up, burning a bit. Yeah, up to the center and then to the left side and lean forward slightly. Shift the weight of the body on your left thigh. Stay there for a while. Come up and to the right side. Good. Now stay there. See if you can place your palms in front and raise your left leg slightly up, your left knee and your left feet off the floor. A bit. Roll the left thigh in and raise your feet up. And release it. Back to the center. Okay. We are on the back to the center. Can we try once more? To the right side, lean forward, place your palm on the floor, then raise your feet and your left feet and left knee up and stay there. Back to the left side, lean, palms on the floor, and raise the right knee and the feet up. And back to the center. And then relax your legs to the front. Okay, stay there. Breathe it out. Okay. Okay. Now we are moving to another exercise for your quads. So I have a block. If you have, you can use a block. If you don't have, never mind. You can just imagine the block that you have a block and you're gonna use that imaginary block. And if you have, then yeah, that's great. So you're gonna keep your feet together. Place the block on your right side. So this is my right, on my right side, close to your right knee. Okay, so this is the block close to the right knee. Place your palms again close to your hips, not too back, but see if you can maintain them closer to your hips. Raise your chest up, roll the shoulders back and down. From here, what you need to do is you're going to raise the right leg up, take the right leg over the block and place it to the right side. Okay, from there, raise the right leg up, over the block, and to the center. That's one cycle. We're going to repeat 4 cycles of that. Up with your right leg, to the right side. Up, over the block, to the center. So once more. Up with your right leg, over, to the right side. Up, over, and to the center. One more last. Up, Now this time you're gonna stay over the block. Keep your leg over the block and stay there. Raise the right leg up. Stay, breathe, and to the right side. Now you can feel your quads. Up, over the block. Now soften your toes, soften your right toes and stay there. Use your thighs to keep your leg lifted. And to the center. All right. Okay, I'm gonna pick the block, place it on your left side, close to your left knee. And if you don't have a block, yeah, imagine there is a block. All right, so palms behind you, roll the shoulders back, lift your chest up, lean back slightly, breathe in, raise the left leg up, take the leg over the block and place it to the left side. Up with your left leg, over the block, and to the center. Great, once more, up, over, to the left, up, over to the center, up, last one, stay there, over the block, lift your chest up, stay, and to the left side, up, over the block, stay, stay, and then back to the center. Very good. You're done with this. Okay. Hope you can feel your quads now. Okay, let's move to the next exercise, which is our cat and cow pose. So I'm going to turn this way. Okay, so you place your palms underneath your shoulders, spreading all your fingers away from each other, keeping your knees directly underneath your hips, so your knees are about hip width distance apart, and pointing your toes back. Yeah, so you are in your tabletop position for now. So first, what we're gonna move is only our hip bone. We're gonna move our hip bone on our thigh bones. So we're not gonna jump into cat and cow as yet. So you can look at me. So what I'm doing is I'm going to tilt my hips forward, which is interior tilt of your hips, and then posterior tilt of your hips. So I'm not moving my spine as yet. So I'm only moving my hips forward and backward. Forward and backward. Once more, forward. Only your hips. Forward and backward. Forward and back. Okay. Now we're gonna work on a little bit on our shoulders or shoulder blades. So you are again in the center, in your tabletop position. What you need to do is from here is, so you're gonna move your shoulder blades towards each other and you're gonna retract your shoulders there. Okay, without moving your lower back or your hips, if you can. And then protract your shoulders, moving the shoulder blades away from each other, as if you are rounding your upper back. Then retract shoulder blades towards each other and protract. Retract and protract. Retract and protract. One more last. Retract and protract, and then gently come back to the center. You can take a break if your arms, your wrist, or your shoulders are feeling. Okay? Now, let's put all of that together and we're gonna move into our cat and cow pose. So again, your wrist underneath your shoulders, spreading your fingers away from each other, knees underneath your hips and your toes are pointing back. Okay, so what gonna do is we're gonna start from our pelvic floor and we're gonna end with our neck. Okay, so the movement can travel from the hips through the spine all the way up to the neck. So we're gonna move into our cow pose first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tilt my hips first, moving my lower back down, and see if that movement can travel through your spine and all the way to the neck. Breathe in. Now, as you breathe out, again, I'm going to start from the tailbone or from your pelvis. You're going to move the pelvis down, then let that movement travel through your lower back to the mid back to the upper back, and then all the way release your head down in the end. Again, breathe in from the tailbone. Be very conscious about your movement. Observe the segments of your spine, every segment from the tailbone all the way to the neck. There. Feel that. Exhale again, consciously from the tailbone to the lower back, mid back, and your neck and your head comes in the end. Breathe in into the cow pose from the tailbone. Again, you start from the tailbone and you end with your head, segment by segment. And exhale into the cat pose from the tailbone all the way to the head. One more last. From the tailbone, go into your cow pose. Let your spine follow from by segment all the way to the neck and observe feel each part of your spine moving from one pose to another pose. Be very aware and conscious of your movements. And then breathe in back to the center. Now from here, let's step your right leg close to your right palm, palms on your hips and come up. Okay, so your left knee is on the floor and your right leg is in front of you. So again, your leg is making, it's kind of 90-90. Your left leg and your right leg is making 90 degrees angle. Now see if your knee is hurting, you can place something underneath your knee or you can fold your mat if your knee is hurting. Okay, now from here, what you're gonna do is place your palms on your hips, breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're gonna glide forward down, keeping the back of your head in line with your sacrum, so you don't lean forward too much. You stay back and glide down. You can feel your left psoas and your quads are working, and then gently move back. Okay, now we're gonna repeat that few times. Breathe out, go down, and breathe in, come back. Okay, see, observe how your shin bone is moving over your ankle, how your knee is moving, observe that. So mobility of your joints, which is very important before we do any static pose. I hope you are following me. Exhale down, inhale back, exhale down, inhale back, and see how far you can go back there. You will feel your left quad more. Up to you. See how far. Okay. Okay. And now let's fly. You can extend your arms out to the side and fly or glide forward and backward. Gently. Be gentle with yourself. Take a break if you need to. And that's about it. Palms on the floor. Step the right leg back. And then we gonna change. So again, left knee over the left ankle, in line with your left hip, making 90-degree angle. The back leg is also making 90-degree angle, so you are not too far with your right knee for now. Okay, and place something underneath your knee if there's any pain in your knee. Again, palms on your hips for now. Breathe in. As you breathe out, glide. See how far you can go. Okay, up to you. Do it slowly, consciously. Be aware of every movement of your body slowly. And now, if you see if you can free your arms and extend your arms out to the side as if you are flying, go back and forward. Very good. Down, slowly, slowly. And that's about it. Palms on the floor. Step back into your cat and cow pose. Okay, now you are in your tabletop for now, right? From here, you're gonna take your palms forward, so your palms are not underneath your shoulders anymore. So your arms are in an angle. That's what I mean. But your palms are still shoulder width distance apart, spreading all your fingers away from each other. Now tuck your toes in, keeping your knees bent, and raise your hips up. So we are slowly moving to the downward facing dog without straightening your knees as yet. So you push the floor with your palms and raise your hips as high as you can. Move the shoulders back and up towards your hips. Your knees are still bent. Now, from here, what you need to do is you're going to straighten your knees and try to bring your heels down to the floor. If you can't, that's absolutely fine. Okay, and then bend your knees again. So you're moving your knees once more. Straighten and bend. Straighten your legs, bend. Knees bend, and then straighten the legs. All right, now from your downward facing dog, step the right leg forward, close to the right palm, bend your left leg forward. Keep your knees bent. You don't have to straighten the legs as yet. We'll figure that out later. Breathe in, extend your arms, and come all the way up. Exhale and release your arms down. Okay, I hope, yeah, I'm still in the frame. All right, class. Now we're gonna do some arm rotations. So let's stand with your feet about hip width distance apart, turning your toes and heels out, toes in and heels out. That's what I mean is, okay. Let's keep your left palm on your left hip, and you're gonna raise the right arm up there. From there, you're gonna take your right arm behind you and make a circle. Slowly up and feel how your upper arm bone responding into your shoulder girdle, that joint of your shoulder. Up, make a rotation with your arms. Gentle, you're observing every movement of your body. One more last, and release. Okay, let's switch the arms now. Right arm on your right hip, left arm, breathe in up, and then start making a circles with your arms. Very conscious of your movement. You can observe how your upper arm bone responding into your shoulder joint. Small movements. The last one, and release. Okay, let's extend your arms out to the side in line with your shoulders. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my right palm to face up, and my left palm is still facing down. Okay, so what I'm actually doing is I'm externally rotating my right arm all the way from the shoulder joint and turning my palm to face up towards the ceiling. Okay, and I'm internally rotating my left arm, left upper arm, what I mean, and turning my palm to face down to the floor. Okay, I'm gonna turn back so you can look. So from there, so your right arm is externally rotating, your right palm is facing up, your left palm is internally rotating and facing down, or maybe for some of you for the back to the back. From there, you're gonna take your left arm behind, bend the elbow, right arm above, bend, and you're gonna touch your back there. Then you release, and then you're going to switch. You start externally rotating your left arm, internally rotating the right arm, and take your arms behind. Just touch your back and come back. Now, external rotation of your right arm, internal rotation of left arm, touch, and then come back. Just some movements to release your shoulders, your arms. Now, do it by yourself. Observe those internal and external rotation. And the last cycle now, right first, right above, left behind, and then the left one. That's about it. And then release. You can roll your shoulders back and forward. If there's any tiredness in your shoulders, any soreness or pain. Okay. All right. Let's stand with your feet about hip width distance apart as we did before, turning the toes in and heels out. Okay, palms on your hips. Now from here, roll the shoulders back, raise your chest up. What you're gonna do is raise your heels up and then come down. Okay, let me move back slightly so you can see whether I'm lifting my heels or not. Yeah. So up with your heels, down with your heels. Up with your heels. Now down with your heels and see if you can raise your toes up. And then you can feel that profoundness, that activeness in your legs. Heels up, heels down, raise the toes up. With your heels down, toes up, and then release. Okay, now I'm turning to face you. Again, your feet are hip width distance apart, your toes are turned in, heels are turned out slightly. See that your second toe is facing front. Palms on your hips. Okay, roll the shoulders back, lift your chest up, breathe in. As you breathe out, lean forward slightly. Move your hips back, bend the knees, and sit into your Utkatasana and see how far you can go without moving your knees forward. So see that your knees are not exceeding your toes. Okay? Now avoid dropping your chest completely down, raise the chest up and stay there. Roll the shoulders back. Breathe. Inhale and come up. I'm going to turn this way so you can see me from the side view. Okay, again, you are standing, your feet hip width distance apart as you already are standing there. Arms on your hips, shoulders back and down, chest up. Okay, see, I'm moving my hips back and leaning forward, right? Moving the hips back, lean forward, and then sit without moving your knees forward. So keeping your knees behind my toes somewhere, yeah, and stay there. Okay, see that there's a slight back bend in my back, which is absolutely fine, or which is actually Utkatasana, so it's not rounding, it's like a back bend there. And come up. Breathe in. As you breathe out, sit, chest up. Now let's see if you can raise your arms up. If you can't, or if it's too much for you, you can keep your palms on your hips and sit back and down. Raise the chest up. Roll your thighs in. So avoid splaying your thighs or your knees away. Roll them in. And inhale, come up. Exhale, release your arms down. Take a few breaths. I hope you're not tired as yet. Okay, we're gonna attempt it once more. Okay, so lean forward, moving the hips back, sit back and down into your Utkatasana. So your knees are not exceeding your toes, you are rolling your thighs in, and raise your arms up. Now from here, see if you can raise your heels up. If you can, heels up with your heels. Pressing the mount of your toes down. Exhale, heels down, sit. Inhale, extend your arms and come up. And exhale, release your arms down. Breathe it out. All right, breathe in, arms up. As you breathe out, bend forward. Place your palms on the floor, on your mat, sorry. You can bend your knees if you can't reach the floor. That's absolutely fine. From there, step the left leg back and the right leg back, and you are moving into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. Stay there, breathe it out. From there, let's step your right leg forward and see if you can turn your left foot out and keep your left foot in an angle, about 45 angle. Okay. Now your right knee is above your right heel and your right thigh is somewhere parallel to the floor. If you can manage that. Palms on the hips and come up. Now, if you observe your legs are not like a tightrope walker. It's like a railway track, so you can adjust your stance. So your feet are not in line with each other. They are slightly about hip width distance apart from each other. Okay, I'm straightening my right leg. Arms on your hips. You can see that your hips are following your back leg, right? They're turning towards the left leg, your back leg. What you need to do is turn your hips to face front. See how far you can go with that. Stay there. Okay. Breathe in, keeping the back of your head in line with your sacrum, in line with your buttocks. Breathe in. As you breathe out, bend the right knee and sit. See how far you can go. Now, you don't need to exceed your heels. Just keep your knee above your heel and then straighten your leg. Sit and straighten the legs. See if you can extend your arms out to the side, and again you are gliding. Sit and up, keeping the back of your head in line with your sacrum so you are not leaning forward, right? Pressing through the left leg heel down strongly, keeping the left leg firm. Sit and come up. Sit, stay there. Now let's turn your palms to face up and raise your arms up. Stay. Raise the chest up, roll the shoulders back and down. Pressing through the left heel strongly down into the floor, your warrior one. Breathe in. As you breathe out, palms on the floor, step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's place your knees down. Bring your big toes together, knees apart, buttocks on your heels, and you gently rest your head on the floor. Breathe it out. Exhale through the nostril. Let go of that tiredness with every exhalation. Just relax your mind and stay there. And observe how your mind is responding all of these movements, poses. Just observe that. Okay. All right. Let's come back. Extend your arms forward. Raise your hips up. Tuck the toes in. And you are back into your downward facing dog. Okay. Now I'm going to step my left leg forward. So again, my left knee over my left heel. I'm gonna turn my right toes out and heel in, and then I'm gonna place my heel down. Now you can adjust, play with that distance. So when you come up, if you feel that you cannot make your balance, that means your legs are in line with each other. Okay, so you can step the right leg slightly out to the side so you can find that balance perfectly. Okay, I hope I'm making sense to you. So if your legs are in line with each other, it's difficult for you to maintain the balance. I'm going to turn this way. Oops, it looks. Okay, so see that your legs are not in line with each other. It will be difficult for you to manage a balance. So your legs are like a railway tracks, parallel. Okay, I'm descending through my right heel into the floor strongly, palms on the hips, breathe in, raising my chest up. Observe your hips. Your hips are trying to follow your back leg, isn't it? Turn the hips to face forward as much as you can. You don't have to push too hard. Breathe in. As you breathe out, bend the knee and sit. And then come back. Okay, just mobilizing your knee and your ankle joint. Yeah, it's very important to mobilize your joint before you put your body into any static poses few times. So extend your arms. See if you can extend your arms out to the side. If you cannot, it's fine. Keeping the back of your head in line with your sacrum and sit, descending through the back leg. One more last. Sit and now stay there. Now you can check whether your knees above your heel. Bit behind is fine, but don't try to go over. Pressing through the right heel down, keeping your right leg firm. Turn your hips to face forward. Turn your palms to face up and then raise your arms up. Raise the chest up. Stay. Keep breathing through the nose too. One, two. Sharpen your fingers. And three. That's about it. Palms on the floor and step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana first. And gently place your knees down, big toes together into your Adho Mukha Virasana. Few breaths there. Breathe it out. And that's about it. All right. Come up into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step the right leg forward and the left leg forward. Inhale, raising your arms up. Exhale, releasing your arms down. I hope you are still there and following me or your practice. Okay. Okay. Let me come back to the center. Again, let's keep your feet about hip width distance apart. Turn the toes in and heels out. Breathe in, extend the arms up. As you breathe out, bend forward. Place your palms on the floor underneath the shoulders. Okay, now it's absolutely fine if you cannot straighten the legs, you can definitely bend your knees and stay there for a while. Okay, or maybe some of you have blocks, so you can place the blocks underneath your palms. Okay, so you have choices whatever makes comfortable to you or feels comfortable to you. Okay, so I'm keeping my knees straight because I can, or I can keep my knees bent. From here, keeping your palms underneath the shoulders. Oh, let's keep your fingers in cup shape actually. There. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shift the weight of my body to my left heel, pressing through my left heel down. I'm going to raise my right leg up into, it's kind of warrior three, right? Okay. Now you can observe that when you raise your right leg up, your right thigh rolls out. So see if you can turn the right thigh in and your toes are pointing down for now. Now let's point your toes back and then roll the right thigh in and see if, can you observe that you have more access to your hips and your thigh when you point your toes back? So you can play with that pointing your toes down and pointing your toes back. Stay there, keeping your chest lifted. Your knees are bent or straight. The bottom leg, it's absolutely fine. Doesn't matter. Just descend through your heel and play with your feet. And exhale, slowly come down. Stay there. Okay, let's raise your chest up. Bend the knees if you can't straighten the knees. If you can straighten the knee, shift the weight of the body to the right leg, descending to the right through the right heel down strongly. So your right leg has to be strong in order to raise the left leg up to the 90-degree angle. My plug is falling down again and again. Anyways, pointing the toes back, roll the left thigh in, pointing the toes down, in, down, sorry, point and down. Roll the left thigh in, straighten the leg, stay, and exhale, come down. There. Stay there. Okay? Now, some of you are maybe already bending the knees. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my knees slightly. My toes are still pointing, my second toe is pointing forward. Okay, move the hips back. What I'm going to do from here is, so half of warrior three we have already done. Now half we're gonna do now. You're gonna raise your arms in line with your shoulders to the front. There, can you see me? Yeah, I hope. Stay there. Move the back ribs in and extend your arms. And exhale, come down. One more last, huh? Breathe in, extend your arms forward, and you are in 90-degree angle with your trunk and your arm, or your arm and trunk are parallel to the floor. Stay. And exhale, release. Step the legs back, knees down, and you are in your Adho Mukha Virasana. Yeah, child's pose. Breathe it out. And breathe in. So we don't have much of a time now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly put all of whatever we have done previously together and go launch ourselves into our final pose. If you are still there, okay. So come up, standing. Let me stand there. Feet are apart, turn the toes in and heels out. Okay. So let's stand straight, extending your arms down, roll the shoulders back and raise your chest. Let's breathe in, extend your arms up. As you breathe out, sit back and down into Utkatasana. Now let's step the left leg back and go into your warrior one as we did before. Stay there. Exhale, lean forward. And from here, we're going to launch ourselves into warrior three. So I'm going to step back slightly. From here, lean forward and launch yourself into warrior three. And stay there. Stay. Exhale into warrior one. Step the left leg forward into chair pose. Sit back and down. Inhale, raise your arms and come up. And exhale, release your arms down. Okay, we're gonna repeat that on with our right leg now. Arms up. Exhale, sit back and down into the chair pose. Step the right leg back into your warrior one. Stay into warrior one. Exhale, lean forward and then launch yourself into warrior three. If you cannot straighten the left leg, keep the left knee bent. Stay, roll the right thigh in. Point your toes back and then point your toes down. Then with your next exhalation, step back into warrior one. Step forward into Utkatasana. Stay. Inhale, raise your arms and come up. And exhale, release. your arms down. Breathe it out. Exhale. You can keep your eyes closed. Exhale through the nostril. Okay, so we don't think so. We have time to do the savasana. I leave it to you. You can do it afterwards. We're just going to close our class. The breathing is a bit heavy, but it's fine. And take savasana after that. Oh, please take savasana after we close the class. Again, you are sitting cross-legged, moving your buttocks back, keeping your spine straight. Pull the shoulders back and down. Let's bring your palms together in front of your chest. Breathe it out. Let's close our class with one Om Tri Shanti. And chant with me. Breathe in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bow down to the divinity within you and within all. All right, thank you very much.